Mr. Vamos Dissects episode 3. We're back at it. Thank you for the guys that are subscribing, the guys that are liking, the guys that are viewing. A few days ago, I received a report from YouTube, and the reviews are actually nice. We have a good number of views. We're getting a good number of subscriptions, and I'd like to thank all of you for doing that. Just keep pressing the subscription button, turn on those notifications, and let's get this thing going. I'm done on yellow today because yesterday was a big game in Lugogo. It was KCCA versus Vipers. It was actually a big win for KCCA. I don't think they expected to pull that one off, but they actually did it. Vipers didn't turn up on that day, and you know how football gets. The person that wants it more takes it, and KCCA actually pulled off the points. A big 3-1 win for them, and there's actually some hope in them now. I'm really happy for the lads because they've been losing very many games, and it's time to pick points this season. Straight away, let's get into the action. I like to do Premier League action mainly because most of the people like to get Premier League action a lot. I want to start from the top to the bottom. Okay, not the bottom, maybe midway, because I just want to give you quick feeds into the whole action so that you guys can get ready for games. We'll straight away get into the Man City-Chelsea clash. Man City is on top of the table. They're playing a Chelsea side that is fresh from beating Tottenham Hotspurs. Tottenham Hotspurs was the table leader last week. Well, right now we cannot really be sure if Spurs is going to keep up the momentum, but I'm probably going to enter into Chelsea and Man City as a fixture. Chelsea is actually, I think they'll come into this game very confident because beating a table leader is not an easy thing. Beating someone who has been unbeaten is not easy. So I'm thinking Nicholas Jackson for Chelsea. Last week I probably didn't see him as a big factor, but I don't really think Chelsea played a good game last week. The red cards actually brought an issue here and there. I'm thinking this is going to be a game it's going to be a game of perseverance. It's going to be a game of who wants it more. I like to use that a lot. Man City, on the other hand, has an Erling Haaland who got an injury last game week, but he came back during the Champions League and he scored. Electric Doku was doing the magic midweek. In fact, he was doing the magic last game week. So this is going to be a game of, I think it's going to come more into the wings. It's going to be a game from the wings because Bernardo Silva, like I said, a very underrated player, but he knows what to do. He knows what to do on the big occasions. So I'm probably putting in a Bernardo Silva, Doku. Grealish might also get in a round of minutes. Phil Foden is actually picking form at the right time. For Chelsea, I might not really. Sterling is still pulling a few strings here and there for them. I think Sterling might be their most outstanding player as we speak. I don't really see how most of the Chelsea players gather themselves to play the game, but I'll probably say let's give Sterling and I keep forgetting Cole Palmer is the hottest player that they have at the moment. So it will all come down to the intelligence of Cole Palmer. And then it will also come down to the intelligence of Bernardo Silva with the Rodri in the middle there to see. So this is going to be a hot game. You guys should watch it. Unfortunately for us, that game will be played tomorrow. So let's just wait and see how that comes about. Liverpool, on the other hand, I'd like to check here a bit. Liverpool, on the other hand, is playing Brentford. Liverpool-Brentford is a really interesting fixture because these are people that they actually play interesting football. Brentford actually looks like an underdog, but they know what it means to win games. Liverpool is coming back from Europe. They actually lost a game that they didn't expect to lose on any day, a 3-2 loss. Well, they tried to win in the 90 there and they lost the game. I'm still optimistic about this Liverpool side because I think they have a well-balanced team. I think the coach has begun playing the midfield pack in a way that is suiting the Premier League now. They probably have Gravenberch, who is sitting in the middle and pulling a few strings. So Bosley and McAllister, that's business as usual on any day. Diogo Jota is back on form as well. Luis Diaz, his father was rescued, I think 2 days ago. So I'm thinking his nerves are going to be he's going to compose himself and get back. Darwin Nunez actually, he didn't really play well against Luton last week, and yet he's been scoring goals. So I'm thinking these guys, this pack of boys need to compose themselves and organize themselves to get back into winning ways. Brentford, on the other hand, I don't even know how to describe this team. This team is actually one unit that wants to win games. It's a unit that knows how to win games. Brentford won it at the death last week, a 3-2 win. And I'm thinking these guys really want to pick points. So your eyes should look out for Mbeumo inside there. Mbeumo didn't actually score last week. He needs to really get back into the scoring things. We need to look at Johan Wissa. Neil Maupay scored his first goal in about a year. So I'm thinking Neil Maupay is a person that you should think he's going to pick up from there. Let's wait and see how that one goes. Like I said, we are doing from like top to bottom, so I'll jump straight to, I forgot Tottenham inside there. Tottenham is playing our early kickoff today. Early kickoffs are the worst thing for a team that has come off a loss, an unexpected loss. Tottenham comes into this clash against Wolves. Wolves has been playing, I don't want to call it the bus, but they really have a disciplined approach in football. And they find Tottenham, who are off a defeat. They lost, I think during the past week, they have lost 5 players. They've lost Maddison, they've lost Udogie to a red card, they've lost Romero to a red card, they've lost Richarlison did a surgery, he's going to be out for a long time. They've lost in fact, their main defense partnership is injured. They lost Mickey van der Hen to an injury as well, and the coach says they're going to be out until next year. I don't know where the magic is going to come from for Tottenham this time round, because they have a Kulusevski who is really, well, he wants to bring the game to players, but he really doesn't create a spark. Wolves, on the other hand, Wan Hee-chang, the Korean, as Guardiola likes to call him, has actually been banging in the goals. He's been making a few points here and there. Problem with the Wolves side is they do not know how to score goals. That's the problem. They bought a big striker in Kalajdzic. They bought Matias Cunha. Pedro Neto, their best player of the season, got injured a bit. So they don't really know how to score goals. But this is going to be an interesting game because it's an early kickoff. Tottenham is fresh from a loss. Let's just wait and see how it goes. That's just a few insights into that game. You can watch out onto those players. Arsenal is playing Burnley. For a Burnley side that hasn't won a Premier League game this season, I don't know what company is really cooking for us. He has a team that has very many young players. I've seen their South African player, the Lyle Foster, the one that has actually been making a few goals here and there. He's actually battling depression. Let's just hope he figures a few things here and there. Well, he's actually been their only spark this season because they've been using very many young players, and the league has not really worked for them this season. They came off from the championship and they've been winning games and everything, but they failed to actually win games this season. They're playing an Arsenal side that is fresh from beating Sevilla, the kings of Europe, from the Europa section. Martinelli is beating all the defenders that he wants. He's actually showing everyone that he's the real Brazilian that they actually brought on board. Saka, I don't know what to say about Saka. It's business as usual for him. I really don't think Burnley has what it takes to pick their first win of the season against Arsenal. Arsenal, we still have an issue. Arsenal guys have been talking about the whole Ramsdale and the whole Ramsdale issue back in goal and all that. I don't know how the coach is going to work that out, but I do not really think Burnley has what it takes to beat an Arsenal side that knows how to do business against these teams. Let's just wait and see how the front lineup will be. There's a Kai Havertz inside there. Many of you guys have been booing him, but actually the coach is giving him minutes. I think the guys that will pull the strings will probably be Martinelli, and Nketiah might actually get back at the front of the pack. Let's wait and see how that goes. We'll get back to Aston Villa. Aston Villa actually succumbed to a shock loss last week. They're playing a Nottingham Forest team that has actually not been making points. They went on to lose shockingly to Nottingham Forest, a 2-0 inside there. And Aston Villa has actually, I think it had the best win percentage in the Premier League and probably Europe as we spoke. And coming back from Europe, they actually won their game in Europe. They're actually doing well in Europe. And Aston Villa this weekend is taking on a Fulham side. Fulham is straight from a loss against Man United. And I think Aston Villa I think their coach, Unai Emery, has actually built a squad of players that know how to pick points. You look at an Oli Watkins inside there. Douglas Luiz is scoring goals from the midfield position. You look at which players do we have to offer? You look at a Leon Bailey who comes off the bench and he makes points inside there. You look at, I don't even know anything to say about this Aston Villa squad. It's a properly balanced team. Yuri Tillemans is benching on the Aston Villa team, and it's really crazy how he benches. And then we come through to a Fulham side. Fulham, on the other hand, they've not really been making points. Raul Jimenez is not getting to the peak that he was ever since he got the head injury. Iwobi is still hustling football in the middle of the park. There's no spark inside there. Their captain Tom Kane is still benching on the side. So I don't really know. This is going to be this might not really be a big contest for Aston Villa. I think they'll actually pull this one off. Let's just wait and see how that goes. But I think this will be an end-to-end game. Going back onto the table, there's a Newcastle that, fresh from a controversial win against Arsenal, they went into Europe. I think they've not really gotten to speed with how European football is played. They actually lost to a Dortmund side that we were talking about it here, and would probably say that Dortmund used a very mature approach against Newcastle, and they didn't really pick the points. It's bad days for Newcastle. Newcastle doesn't have a strike at the moment. Callum Wilson is injured. Isaac is injured. Those are the two front men. I think they made a makeshift against Arsenal and they put Gordon in the center of the park. But still, like I said, that's a makeshift. We really don't know how that's going to go for them. Bruno Guimaraes is still pulling in a few strings here and there for them. Joe Linton is bagging a few things here. Trippier, as usual, business as usual. Last week he went onto the left wing, and he's actually bringing the assists. But they are playing Newcastle. This is going to be interesting to watch. Newcastle is playing Bournemouth. I don't really fancy the Bournemouth team. I can't even really pick a standout player for them. You're probably going to look into a Phil Billing. You're going to look into which other players. I don't think this Bournemouth team is going to really put up a contest in this one. So that's just a game you need to look up to. We come into Man United. Man United is fresh from a Champions League loss that might actually have brought them into the Uganda current mathematics of counting if they're going to move out of the group. Man United has a very big conversation around them. Why is Man United not performing? Why are the players conceding funny goals? Why are the players not playing as they expected to play? Man United is playing a Luton side that has won them once in their history. And interestingly, just to give you an update on how teams play against Man United, for a team that has not beaten Man United in a long time and they come into a season when Man United is not performing, it's actually a tricky fixture. Well, I don't know when Man United wants to kickstart their season, but I'm thinking this is a game that they need to win. Højlund is actually the Champions League top scorer. They have actually begun picking him out in sports. I don't know if that will come to pass in the Premier League. Man United still has a midfield battle to sort out inside there. If a team is relying on a person like Scott McTominay to pull a few strings here and there because he's been scoring goals, it's something to worry you. Sama said there's the new signing Amrabat. I think he has failed to pick. The coach is still putting him on the sides. Garnacho is back in the team. He's been a spark actually since he came back. The problem for Man United is Diogo Dalot. I think he's been caught off guard for like 5 games in that whole ball watching thing. So it's something that I think the coach needs to work on. But I think personally, if Man United looks out for Højlund today, he might probably get his first Premier League goal of the season. For Luton, that Luton side, I don't really see them doing anything in regards to winning games. We get to Brighton and Sheffield. Brighton is like the best. I think Brighton plays the most beautiful football in the Premier League. Brighton is playing a Sheffield side that I think it has picked up 1 win this season. So I think this Ansu Fati is actually scoring very many goals recently. Ferguson has been in and out of the team, so he's not really playing very many games inside there. But I expect this Brighton side to be a walkthrough. Straight up, I think the games are about to start. I'd like to give you my predictions and get you cooking, get you watching the games. I'll just give them to you, the predictions, as the games go. Wolves is playing Tottenham Hotspur. This is a very tricky game. I don't know who to give this game to. Just like I said, Wolves doesn't score very many goals. But let me give this game to Tottenham 1-0. It's going to be a very dirty game. But let me give it to Tottenham just because I think they still need to pick in wins inside there. Arsenal is going to just walk through. It's going to be a stroll in the park. I like to use that. Let me give Arsenal 3-0. Man United, Luton. Man U doesn't score very many goals, and this Luton side disturbed Liverpool last week. Well, let me go for Man United. Predicting Man U games is really heart-aching now, but let me go for Man United 2-0. 2-0 Man United. Let me give them a clean sheet here. Newcastle, Bournemouth. Newcastle is actually away. Like I said, they don't have a striker. This is actually going to be a tight game. Bournemouth plays the big dogs as if it's a World Cup final. I think Newcastle will win this one 1-0. Aston Villa, Fulham, that will not be a contest. Aston Villa 3-1. Brighton, Sheffield, Brighton 2-0. Liverpool, Brentford, that's a tricky game. Let me give a Liverpool 2-1 win in there. Then the big one, Chelsea and Man City. I don't know, my Chelsea guys will probably kill me for this, but I don't think they stand a chance against Man City. I do not think so. I think this Man City team knows what they want to do in the Premier League. So I'm not going to give Chelsea this one. I'm probably going to give it Man City 2-1 inside there. I think let's just end that. Let's just end that at that today. I'd like to reliably inform you that next weekend we're going for the international break. So I think very many teams that are not performing will actually get up to speed with all that. I'd like to thank you guys for the reviews, for the likes and everything. Just go out there and enjoy your games. Do not kill yourselves. Do not overdose. Depression is real. Football should not kill you. Vamos!